Hello, Francisca. This is Dr. Priscilla with Anchors of Hope for Writers. Before I do anything to your document, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. And as I go through it, you can see my thought process and change whatever it is that you might want to change. So I'm going now to share my screen. I'm going to go to Anchors of Hope. And if you can't see my screen at this moment, I'll just rechange it a little bit later. But I'm going to open up your preface document here. And I'm going to open your document here. And it is now opening up in Word. While it is opening up in Word, just to make sure that you are able to see what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share my screen again because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. At this point, I'm going to enable editing. I'm going to enable editing this document. That means I can change it. Remember, I recommended that you send all of your work, prepare all of your work in Microsoft Word, 14-point font, and in Times New Roman. So I'm going to select Control All. I'm going to change it to Times New Roman. I'm going to set it at a 14-point font. I'm going to set it for double space paragraph, and I'll click OK. Now that is done, I'm going to go through and use my Tab key for 5-space indentation. Tab, Tab, Tab. And because this is a short line, I'm going to make this a tab for 5-space indentation. Notice here that there is more space than necessary. I'm going to delete some space here and do a tab indentation here. And this looks like a very long paragraph. I'm going to look through this paragraph to see if I really want all of this to be a paragraph. My conviction is that this movement needs to start in the private sphere, a radical move that is meant to upset the boundary that says engaging in dialogue about the private sphere is intrusive. I dare knock on every mother's door and soul and invite the spirit of sisterhood as we defy the silencing words, private sphere is private. We know full well that is where we are beaten blue and black and have ourselves stolen from ourselves. It is where our children are traumatized and scarred. It is where inequality begins and the culture of silence thrives. It's time we extinguish the fire in the hell we have lived in for so long and claim the heaven we ought to be enjoying as kings, as queens and kings. I'm going to change this paragraph here, this long paragraph, and make it into a smaller paragraph. In theory, paragraphs should be a minimum of 3 sentences. So we have accomplished that. 1, 2, 3. And that is there. There's something about the rhythm. As I read this, you can keep this as you have it, or you can perhaps change it to black and blue, beaten black and blue, instead of blue and black. There's a rhythm, there's a cadence. I can hear it because that is what, when we say it, I've been beaten black and blue, but never blue and black. Okay, so I'm just going to make that change here, but you can keep it as you have it if you wish. I'm just going to put it here that I did make that change here and just strike through that. That's totally your choice if you want to keep it or leave it. We are beaten black and blue and have ourselves, and ourselves could be one word or two. I'm not really sure. That's where I would say editing comes in, but for me, I understood it. And I think because you have the to ourselves, it's okay to leave it as separate ourselves, stolen from ourselves. Okay, now this is your preface. This looks perfect for me, to me. I'm going to do a quick spell check. Review, mailings, where's my spell check? And review. I'm looking for the spell check. And here it is, ABC. And I wanted to take that out, so that's okay. Ignore. And that's okay. Ignore. And the grammar check is okay in this document. Now, I want to go back through here and look at some of the words. It doesn't matter which words you choose. I'm just going to choose some words. Essential piece in attaining SDG. So I don't know what that stands for. So I'm going to maybe italicize this. SDG. And we can either condemn and blame. We, as long as empowered girls, just something that is really challenging or you want to call attention to. And this may be something that you would want to call attention to. Maybe even bold that, me too. And I don't know, misogyny from the root. I might italicize that. You'll just look through my book. There was no rhyme or reason for italicizing specific things. I just thought it should have something. It was like yummy, and I italicized it. I think I want to capitalize preface. And now I'm going to do Control Alt, and copy. Now, you would only do this one time, but I'm just taking this small part so you won't have so much to look at and think about. And I'm going to go to File, open up a new document. Remember, I have Kindle already installed on my computer. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to share again so that you'll know that I'm in a different place. I'm going to open up a new document. I went to File, New, and because I have Kindle already installed on my computer, I'm just going to go up here. I hope that you can see I'm circling Kindle. And from there, I'm going to paste your preface. That's all that I'm doing at this moment. I'm going to paste your preface here. Control V. Remember, it was double spaced and 5 space indented. Now let me see if I'm going to do this correctly. If I don't do it correctly, I will do it again. So now we know that mine is set up for Kindle. I'm going to set it up for Kindle. I'm going to click on Kindle. I'm setting this up for Kindle. I pasted the document. Now I'm going to click here right before the word preface. I'm going to look here for chapter title, which is not the chapter title. It's not any of those things. So I'm going to go over here and look over here at apply an element and see if it's my title page, and it's not my title page. And why am I somewhat a little off? Okay, disregard what I've just said at this point. Let's just disregard this. And I'm going to go to File, New, open up a new document. I'm going to stop sharing just to make sure that you're capturing what I want you to see. I'm going to share again. Now, I have Kindle installed already on my computer. So I'm going to go to Kindle. I'm clicking on Kindle. And let's see if you see where I clicked on Kindle. I clicked on Kindle here, and it opened up this ribbon going across here. Now you only do this one time, so I'm going to click on Get Started. I click on Get Started, and you can read this if you want to, but let's just say that I'm going to look at Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole, Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. These are the different ways that it could look. Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. And the paragraphs could be this way or this way. Your paragraphs could be indented with that big A covering 3 lines, very bold A, or it could be this way with a faint A in color. You don't want color because you have to pay extra. You could have this type of A. Notice how the chapter headings look, or this way. So it's classic, modern, armor, cosmos, and I think there are a few others that you can scroll down to see what they look like. And let's just say for this purpose that we're going to choose this one. I think this is the one that I chose. My book size is 6 by 9. I know that you said that you wanted one that's probably 5 by something else. That one isn't listed, but we can figure that out later. Once you can always change the size. It isn't going to change what you've written, but you just change the size. But let's just work with this one now. And I'm going to just click on 6 by 9. I'm actually clicking on it, and you can see that there is a border going around 6 by 9, and I'll click Continue. All right. So now that I've clicked on Continue, I'm going to select Finish down here at the bottom. I'm choosing the word Finish down here at the bottom. I hope that you saw that little runway of whatever. And just in case it didn't show you what has happened, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to share again. Now there is a box over to the far left. The information that I want to post, I've copied that information, and now I'm going to do a Control Paste. And your written work is now 2 pages. Notice over here it's 2 pages, and we've got our preface here. We've got our indented paragraphs, indented paragraphs, indented paragraphs, and of course you will change this out and make this without the highlights. That was just to call your attention to it. So this ends the page. Now we are going to go up to apply some elements. This is not your title page, but I'm clicking on the title page, and what I'm looking for is not there. We have page title, first paragraph, and I'm looking through my page, and I do not have a preface page. We have opening quote, dedication page, body parts. So we have chapter title, chapter first paragraph, poem. I'm going to look in another book that I have. Let's see if this person has a preface. We have a forward page. So several of the books that I've purchased, none of them have the only one that has a preface page is a book from someone in our tribe named Willie Tubbs. Willie has a preface page. This is what his preface page looks like. That doesn't mean that yours have to be centered, but let's just use his as an example. And I'm going to go back over to the title page. I'm looking for where I know that there's a center. So I'm going to place my cursor right in front of preface. I'm going to the current paragraph formatting. it's here, apply elements by type. Then I go over one and I'm going to click on dedication. It doesn't say dedication, it says preface, okay? And he does have his in lowercase letters. So if you want to change it, you can actually change it here to lowercase, whichever one you prefer. P-R-E, preface. You can also change the font size later, okay? And I want to have a space in between there. So there we have the preface, and because this is size 14, we probably want this to be larger than that. But we'll figure out changing that size a little bit later. So everything is fine here. I didn't see anything wrong except here there's just too many spaces here. And this space came about when I changed the size of the preface. Now let's just play around with this. I'm in this first grid here, title elements. So let's just say if we call it a book subtitle. I like that size. And I just chose the title, I just chose the book subtitle. Again, you're just playing around with what you like best. Now, if you think there's too many spaces here, which is a little large, but you want to check the spacing here. And I think that looks perfect because this is going to end your page 2. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and wait to see if you have any feedback that you want from me. I'm going to go back to page 1. And if you had an image, you would put the image somewhere in there. More in meeting and maybe